35 houses. Now today, only 20 of those houses remain. A lot of them fell down due to, non-maintenance, disrepair. As I stated earlier, a couple fires got a hold to a few of the houses. Two of the houses were taken out whenever the overpass out here was put in 1961. And one of the houses, House 26, was actually very famously blown up for the Hunger Games. They blew up a house out here while filming.
Oh my God,
which
that's not cool.
That trip.
I'm sure they probably paid for that.
History. That is not cool.
They probably paid big money for that.
How the story was at least told to me is it sounds like it was a case of better to ask for forgiveness than permission, because the owner did not know that they were going to do that.
But they still probably paid out the ass.
But that's also one of the
name?
Sorry?
Who owned this? What was the last
It was
name?
the families were the Adderholts and the Rudesills.
Okay, the Adderholts.
Yeah, German families by way of Philadelphia.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And their houses, kind of hard to see the Rudesill houses. If you go down on the south end and look up across the river in the tree line, you'll see a big white house. Well, actually, there's 3 houses up. Well, there used to be 3 houses up there. Now there's only 2. Pesky fires, right? But you can see that up in that tree line, and then if you go back up the road this way, you'll see these big, tall privacy hedges on the left side of the road, and there's a big white house behind it, and that was the Adderholt family house. Someone lives in that house now. I think somebody just moved out.
Family still exist?
They still exist. They're not in the area anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think around the 80s they kicked it back up north.
But
there are still a lot of family descendants still right here in the area. So, like I said, one of them's part of on our preservation board. So they're blowing up stuff out here. That's why we're only in the first Hunger Games. They did want to film the sequels with us, but the owner at that time was not allowing it. And at the time of these negotiations, the first movie had come out. It was a big success, so the property started seeing a lot of people come out here anyway. Most people not meaning any harm or anything, just wanting to take pictures of the bakery or the Everdeens house. But as I stated, that came with a lot of vandalism. People writing graffiti. I'm sure you've noticed all the broken out windows on the general store out there.
Terrible.
That's only been within the past 10 years. If you look at pictures of that building from like the early to mid 2000s, all of the windows are still intact. Looks good still. Just people came out here, started busting up place. So, needless to say, that made the owner, he just kind of put his foot down, stopped all visitation to the property, and that's how the place sat for the next 15 plus years until we came along, bought the place, and started the restoration process. That's kind of the history of the place in a nutshell. But one thing I do like to leave with you guys before I cut you loose to do your own exploring is as you're walking around looking at the houses, if you can, try to imagine these houses looking more like our renovated House 12 on the south end, because that's how they looked back in the day. I mean, sure, these people didn't have a lot of resources, they didn't have a lot of money, but they did take pride in where they lived, and so usually these houses were very nice homes. Some of them were even immaculately
Might be small,
kept.
but
Especially whenever the company still owned the village, they were well maintained, and I'm talking like repainted once a year, re-roofed every 4 years. The broken down, dilapidated District 12E kind of aesthetic didn't really come into play until, say, the last 30 years of the village's history with it being abandoned. I like to leave that with people.
It'll be cool to visit when it's all done.
Yeah. We got some people that they'll come back. I know one group, they come back like every 2 years. They'll come to an event and they just want to see what we've got done out here and everything. They've been impressed so far.
How's all the work being done by, is that
old school doors?
charity type?
Contracted with a little bit of volunteerism. I mean, I'm thinking, and this is me being optimistic, to have everything built and said and done, I think it'll probably take about maybe 15 years to get everything getting going, and that's if everything goes perfectly. We've got the House 12 took about 3.5 years to get that fully fixed up. The next house we're doing is House 11. That's the other house just right up the hill. We've got a 3-year plan for that.
Is that due to funding, or is that due to researching how it was initially, or?
How we were able
How are you
to
redoing it?
do it? Yeah, through funding.
For
Yeah.
it to take that long.
Yeah. It's just the funding and took a little bit for us to get this place recognized as a historic landmark.
I see, I
And
would have figured out the easy part.
yeah, really, yeah, it's weird, but we got it. We got it now.
I'm reading this is one of the only original towns.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Well, hell, it's
I tell people this is a unique place now, but
Yes,
especially back in the
yes.
day, it wasn't because there were these company towns were everywhere.
Yeah, but
That's what is it, Henry Fort up in Statesboro? That's a historical landmark. They do
You were taking
they do reenactments all the time
Mhm.
because of the Civil War.
That's what you were taking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's huge.
which I like that place. It's awesome. I've always been into history and stuff.
Same.
Like that.
I
used to-
just
I used to
I
live
can
right
down-
literally
buildings.
stand in these buildings and just
Yeah.
imagine like everything like I'm there.
Yeah,
I love it. We
I
did it in
love it.
Ireland.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people to do that, just to make, because they see the movies and they come out here and they think, wow, this is how they live. Not quite.
Nah, yeah, right. I get you.
Yeah, but with that being stated, you guys have any questions, history or Hunger
Like I
Games?
said, I'm sure I'll probably be back because I'll probably bring my wife back here.
Yeah.